For 60 years, scientists told you a beautiful story. 75,000 years ago, in a cave in Iraq, a Neanderthal was buried on a bed of flowers. Yarrow, hyacinth, groundsel. The first sign that they had feelings. The proof that our extinct cousins loved. Yeah, about that. It was bees. Every animal in nature has the same response to a dead body. Walk away, or eat it, or both. But somewhere in our deep prehistory, one species, us, looked at a corpse and decided to do something completely insane. Dig a hole, put the body inside, cover it up, and feel something about it. Nobody knows for sure when this started. Nobody knows for sure why. But the archaeological clues that survived, they are way weirder than the textbook answer. Here are 6 discoveries that completely break what you think you know about ancient burial. Stay till the end. The last one is the strangest thing I've ever read. Sierra de Atapuerca, Spain. Deep inside a cave, archaeologists found a vertical shaft 13 meters straight down. The locals nicknamed it Cima de los Huesos, the pit of bones. At the bottom, at least 28 individuals. Not Neanderthals. Not modern humans. Pre-Neanderthals. People who lived 400,000 years ago. Now here's where it gets weird. Among hundreds of bones, archaeologists found exactly one stone tool. A perfectly crafted hand axe made out of rare pink quartzite, a stone you can't find anywhere near that cave. Someone carried it in. They nicknamed it Excalibur. Think about what this means. 400,000 years ago, before language as we know it, before art, before fire was reliable, somebody walked deep into a pitch-black cave carrying a beautiful, useless, ceremonial object, and dropped it in with the dead. If that's intentional, it's the oldest grave gift in human history. It's 300,000 years older than anything Neanderthals ever did. A creature with a brain barely bigger than a chimp's may have invented the idea of giving the dead a gift. Now jump to South Africa. Rising Star Cave. A species called Homo Naledi. Brain size. About 1/3 of yours. Roughly the volume of an orange. In 2023, paleoanthropologist Lee Berger dropped a bombshell. He claimed this small-brained species had deliberately buried their dead 240,000 years ago. They allegedly carried corpses down narrow cave passages, dug pits, lowered the bodies in, covered them with dirt, and even left a stone tool next to one of them. If true, this rewrites everything. Because the entire scientific consensus said burial requires a big brain. Symbolism, imagination, belief in something after death. Homo naledi had none of those, supposedly. But then a coalition of other scientists looked at the evidence and pushed back hard. No soil mixing. None of the alleged graves fully excavated. No proven pits. As of 2026, this fight is still unresolved. It might be the biggest unsolved mystery in human origins. So either burial is hundreds of thousands of years older than we thought, or somebody got way too excited about a pile of bones. But here's where it gets really weird. Because what humans did next with their dead, you're not gonna believe. Sunghir, Russia. 34,000 years ago. In one grave. 2 boys. About 10 and 12 years old. Buried head to head.
With them, more than 10,000 mammoth ivory beads. 300 pierced fox canine teeth. 20 armbands. 16 ivory spears. Including one made from a single, mysteriously straightened mammoth tusk nearly 8 feet long. To this day, modern craftspeople aren't sure how it was made. Each bead took roughly an hour to make. Do the math. That's over 10,000 hours of labor. Roughly 5 full-time workers laboring for a year. For one funeral. For 2 kids. Here's the part nobody tells you. The younger boy's leg bones were severely bowed. He probably couldn't walk normally. In a society where mobility meant survival, a kid like that should have been the least invested in. Instead, he got the most lavish burial in the entire Ice Age world. Whatever ancient humans believed about death, they bankrupted their whole community to honor a disabled child. Bonn, Germany, 14,000 years ago. A grave with 2 adults and a puppy. When scientists re-examined the puppy's teeth in 2018, they realized something heartbreaking. This dog had survived multiple bouts of canine distemper, a disease that, without medical care, kills puppies in under 3 weeks. For 6 weeks or more, somebody hand-fed it, cleaned up after it, kept it warm, while it was completely useless as a hunting or guarding animal. And when it finally died at 28 weeks old, they didn't eat it, they didn't leave it, they buried it. With them, This is the oldest evidence on Earth that humans loved their pets. Not used them, loved them. 14,000 years ago, someone cried over a dog. Now, the strangest one. Gough's Cave, England. About 14,700 years ago, archaeologists found the remains of at least 6 people, including a 3-year-old child. The bones tell a story almost too dark to repeat. 65% of the bones show cut marks. 42% have human bite marks. The marrow had been cracked out. The flesh had been carefully filleted off. 3 of the skulls were cleaned, trimmed, and shaped into perfect drinking cups. And here's the twist. This wasn't starvation. The site is full of animal bones. They had plenty of food. This was a ritual. Funerary cannibalism. Eating your relatives to keep them inside you. Drinking from your grandmother's skull because that's how you stayed connected to her. And the disturbing part? This wasn't a one-off. Similar skull cups have been found across Magdalenian Europe. It was a widespread custom. Burial in their world didn't always mean putting somebody in the ground. So why did ancient humans start burying their dead? The honest answer is, we don't fully know. But every site we've looked at tells the same quiet story. Burial wasn't invented to hide a body. It was invented because somebody, somewhere, looked at a corpse and couldn't let it go. A child with bent legs. A puppy who shouldn't have lived. A grandmother whose flesh became your memory. The first graves weren't about death. They were about love that refused to end. If you had to be buried like a Paleolithic person, would you want the beads, the dog, or the skull cup? Tell me in the comments. Wrong answers only. And if you want to know what ancient humans did with their living bodies, like why they suddenly started laughing for no reason, click the next video. Trust me,